Hello and welcome to another JMP video. I'm the host JonNario and welcome to another installment of my Trophy class hidden effects. This is a series where I'll be going over all class hidden effects on crystal rings. I will be going over one class per video and I will try to explain how does every single hidden effect works. These are all solo hand tested, so there will be a lot of estimation on some of these stats and abilities. So if you yourself have any of the correct values on any of these videos, make sure to drop them in the comment section down below. Also in the comments, let me know which class would you like to see in the next video, and the classes that I will be seeing the most in the comments, I will be putting them into a poll in my community tab. The name of the class will just suffice, and try not to spam in the comment section down below. And like always, make sure to drop a like since it does help me out more than you think, and also subscribe. We're on the road to 4K subscribers. And with all that being said, let's get started with the Tomb Raider's hidden effects. Before I start with all three hidden effects, I need to mention that there's a glitch with the Tomb Raider that I noticed when I was doing ability testing. So I will be doing a separate video explaining this glitch in detail, so keep checking in the comments of this video, since I will be putting a link to the video explaining the glitch. You can watch it before or you can watch it after this video, it really does not matter. The reason I'm mentioning all of this is that this glitch does happen very commonly, and this will affect one of the three abilities that I'm going to be talking about today. Anyways, now let's move on with the hidden effects. The Tomb Raider has three hidden effects which are going to be called Ghost More, Banshee Blast, and Skellbiggle Split. Starting off with Ghost More, which reads, reduces the energy drain from Banshee's boon. So pretty straightforward. So upon activating Banshee's boon, your energy depletes over time until it reaches 0. You can use stuff like Zealous Emblem in order to prevent it from deactivating, but the cooldown is only 2 seconds. The amount of energy cost gets reduced with this hidden effect equipped from normally 5 energy per 1/10 of a second to 3 energy every 1/10 of a second, or in other words, you will get to reduce your energy from 50 energy per second to 30 energy per second. And that's it. This is not as bad as it seems, but since Zealous Emblem and energy regeneration weapons and rings exist, this is going to be a skip in my eyes, since theirs can be easily replaced with the previously things that I just mentioned, and the other two abilities from the Tomb Raider are much better than this one. Next up, the second ability is going to be called Banshee Blast, which reads, your basic attack has a chance to summon baby banshees. Another straightforward description, every time you hit an enemy with your basic attack, and yes, this also includes the basic attack with the Banshee's boon active, you will have around a 10 to 15% chance of spawning 3 banshees that will last 3 seconds each. This does have a 1 second internal cooldown, and even though this banshees looks like the actual class gen version, this does not heal any of their minions and does not grant a soul from your passive upon death. You can have up to a maximum of 4 minions in total, and this does not count towards any minion limit, so you can have 4 banshees, the regular Bontourage, the Goliath, and the banshees from the class gen. All of them are going to be separated, so it's going to be 4 minions in total maximum from this ring ability. And lastly, they will attack every 1.5 seconds, dealing 0.625 times damage multiplier, so the same as the class gen Banshee, and obviously it's going to be single target. This ability is actually pretty nice. This would not be my first option as far as which ability I would pick out of the 3 from the Tomb Raider, but this is definitely a good pick. More minions with no setup, just using the basic attack which you are already using all the time, that's not bad. Even though the minions are there for 3 seconds and deal really low damage, once again, it's no setup, you don't have to do anything in order to make this ability work. I would use it, but then you realize that the next ability actually exists, and then you might end up skipping this ability as well. Speaking of the last ability, moving on to the actual ability called Skellbiggle Split, which reads, using Bontourage has a chance to summon a larger skeletal. When this large skeletal dies, it will spawn skeletals. Alright. This ability took me around 3 hours of testing, and I'm not sure if I actually got everything right, since there's so many weird stuff happening with this ability, and this is the ability that I did mention that is going to be affected by the glitch. Once again, if you do skip to this point, or you forgot that I did mention this towards the beginning of the video, I will be doing a separate video explaining this glitch, so make sure to keep checking on the comments of this video. Now, let's get on with this. Every time you use the Bone Thorax ability, you have around a 10% chance to spawn a larger Skeletal alongside the regular Skeletal. So yes, this is going to be a bonus summon, not a chance to be either the regular or a large. It's just going to be when the large spawns, so is the regular. This large Skeletal will have most of the same properties as the regular one, which are going to be, it will attack once per second, it will be single target, they will take aggro, they will take damage, it will get possessed by the passive ability if you actually have the maximum amount of minions, dealing more damage, but they will last half the time. And this has the 6 minion limit, which is shared amongst the regular Skeletal or, their large Skeletal. However, even though the limit is 6, you can keep spawning large Skeletal until you can have 6 and maintain the regular Skeletals alive. But every time you try to spawn more regular Skeletal, you can spawn larger, but you cannot spawn the regular, it will just make everyone possessed. I know that was a lot of explanation, but just letting you know that don't be too surprised if you see stuff like this. Now to the difference between the large Skeletal and the regular one. Starting off with the damage. The regular Skeletal does 2.25 times damage multiplier per minion, and the larger version does double the amount of that one, which is going to be 4.5 times damage multiplier per hit. And when possessed, the regular Skeletal does 3.95 times damage multiplier, and the large does 6.2 times damage multiplier. Next up is going to be the timer. The Skeletal will last for 15 seconds, but the larger version will last for double the amount of time, which is 30 seconds. While possessed, both of them will last half the time, which is regular for 7.5 seconds, and the large Skeletal for 15 seconds. Keep this in mind, this is going to be if you don't heal them once, and if they don't take damage, because those will actually affect how much they last. And we are not done, because if the large Skeletal dies, there's going to be around a 50 to 60% chance to spawn 2 Skeletals, and these 2 Skeletals will always spawn unpossessed, and they will deal the same damage as the large Skeletal, which is normal 4.5 times damage multiplier and 6.2 times damage multiplier while possessed, but they will last the same amount of time as the regular Skeletal, which is 15 seconds regular and 7.5 seconds while possessed. These minions also exceeds the 6 minion limit, so if you have already 6 Skeletals just spawn normally, these 2 will spawn as well as bonus. Now, I really don't need to tell you how good this ability is. I've already spent so much time actually explaining this ability, so the ability itself, this should be pretty obvious. Get it? Simple as that. Your main damaging ability just becomes stronger, and it's honestly not even funny how strong this ability makes the Tomb Raider in terms of DPS. So if you yourself like the Tomb Raider or are using this class or planning to use this class in the future, get this ability. It's definitely worth it. And that's it. Thank you for watching as always, and this has been the hidden effects for the Tomb Raider.